Sculpture. For thousands of years, sculpture has filled many roles in human life. The earliest sculpture was probably made to supply magical help to hunters. After the dawn of civilization, statues were used to represent gods, ancient kings, possibly in the hope of making themselves immortal. From beginnings until now, or the present, sculpture has been largely monumental. In the 15th century, monuments of biblical heroes were built on the streets of Italian cities. The Greeks made statues that depict perfectly formed men and women. The Sumerians celebrate military victory with sculpture. The participants of World War II also use sculpture to honor their soldiers. Types of sculpture. Sculpture can be divided into two classes: relief sculpture and sculpture in the round. Relief sculpture is a sculpture in which images are set against a flat background. A coin is a good example of relief sculpture. The inscription, the date, and the figure, sometimes a portrait of a statesman, are slightly raised above a flat surface. When the image is only slightly raised, as with the coin, the sculpture is called low relief or bas relief. The ancient Egyptians sometimes carved figures into a flat surface. This type of carving is known as sunken relief. Statues that are almost three-dimensional but still are attached to a background are regarded as high relief. Sculpture in the round. Sculpture in the round is freestanding, attached to no background. Most statues and portraits and even busts are carved in the round. There are three methods for making sculpture. They are modeling, carving, constructing, or joining. Modeling is done with clay, wax, or some other soft materials. The sculptor adds pieces of pliable materials and mold it to the desired shape. Carving. Carving can be thought of as the opposite of modeling because it involves removing rather than adding materials. With the knife or chisel, the sculptor carves from a block of wood or stone until the form is made. Joining or constructing. Constructing was not widely practiced until the 20th century. In this method, the artist uses pieces of wood, metal, or plastic and join them together into a construction. The modern sculptor is not only creative, sensitive, and original thinker, but also a competent welder, riveter, machinist, as well as an artist. Things to consider before choosing your materials as a sculptor. Number 1, the cost. 2, availability. 3, durability. And 4, the purpose. Before beginning to work, the sculptor must decide what material to use. Material range from something as rare and costly as ivory, which comes from elephant's tusk, to common clay. Good clay is highly prized, but almost anyone can afford it, since it is formed in many places all over the world. The sculptor must decide between a material that is permanent and one that must be made permanent. Each kind has its advantages and disadvantages. A stone like marble is, of course, very hard. Carving must be done with great strength and at the same time with great delicacy. Mistakes are difficult to repair, and too much force can cause breakage. But when marble statue is carved and polished, the sculptor's work is done. Clay. Clay, in contrast, is very soft. The artist can experiment a great deal, adding pieces and remodeling sections. If a mistake is made, the error can be removed quickly. However, clay must be kept workable every day. The unfinished work must be covered with damp rags, and from time to time, the unused clay in the bin must be moistened with water and pounded. Moreover, when the modeling is finished, the statue is by no means ready for exhibition, for clay does not last long. Therefore, the statue must be converted to another kind of material. A number of systems may be used, each requiring additional work. The systems are firing and casting. Stone and metal have always been important materials for the sculptors. Maybe because they are permanent. Other materials that have been used include wood, ivory, bone, glass, and plastic. For sculpture that is to be converted to another material, clay is by far the most frequently used. But various kinds of wax have also been employed. In modern times, the sculptor has turned to new materials such as fiberglass, stainless steel, aluminum, bronze, brass, and copper. Sculpting tools. Sculpting tools are the extension of the artist's hand. They are axe, chisel, hammer, mallet, knife for carving. Loops of wire, sticks or blades of wood are also used in modeling. Welding torches, soldering iron are also used in metal construction. Special machines that join or separate plastics with the heat and pressure may also be used. Note that casting is the most common system of converting a clay or wax sculpture into another material.